Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome out to Wood League All-Stars. This is going to be an exciting low-level game where we just have some fun, maybe learn a little bit, and laugh about what we were once like before we learned how to play the game. And, the point of this is just to have fun, just to laugh at mistakes that we make all so often. And no offense is meant, it's just an opportunity to learn and to make fun of other people for messing up, because what other kind of humor is there? We're going to spectate off of Mr. Blue Winds here, the Teemo in the mid lane, and I wish you the best of luck in your journey, Mr. Flash Teleport Teemo mid, whose summoner spells can only be rivaled by their support, the Flash Teleport Blitzcrank in the bot lane. I am excited to see what he pulls out with that, maybe some awesome support roaming ganks. Who knows? Who knows? I really feel like anything could happen in this game. The rest of the summoner spells are actually pretty normal over here on the blue team. Over on the red team, though, looks to be a slightly different story. There's Morgana with Flash and Clarity, a heal and teleport on Jinx, which is typically not recommended, but hey, we'll see. And then the teleport Ignite Kale, that's going to be devastating if she gets ahead, but we'll see how well it can do so. We have some sweet Teemo versus Teemo action in the mid lane, which I think is going to be the highlight of any of the gameplay today. Teemo on Teemo. Oh yeah. Alright, the ping is going down in the bottom. It looks like we have junglers in this game, and they're actually starting at their appropriate buffs, so that's actually a rather exciting occurrence. Wukong's going to fall pretty low after smiting that away. His team will help him out with a bit of a leash. Meanwhile, Warwick does exactly the same with his own blue buff. They will move up to the top side of the jungle and can potentially go for a gank. Warwick most likely won't be going for that since he has a pretty weak early level. The Alpha Knight falling low, going in from Taras on the Mr. Blue Winds. And this is going to be a low health, high action Teemo on Teemo lane. Ooh, that blinding dart doing work onto the Alpha Knight's hit points. No ignites in mid, and Alpha Knight does have his barrier, so he might want to go in for the OP barrier bait. Mr. Blue Winds comes in here. There's another blinding dart. There's the toxic shots coming across. Mr. Blue Winds taking so much minion aggro in the first blood for the Alpha Knight. We were right about that barrier bait. And we have seen which Teemo is coming ahead at the beginning here. So the heal on Becky is already blown. Because why have it if you're not going to use it? Cancel as well, falling pretty low. Quinn in the bottom lane, making a cameo appearance as a champion in League of Legends. Going to lane with Flash and Ignite, so rather aggressive for an AD carry summoner spells. And we'll see if they can come out with the kills. If Suck on this can potentially land a rocket grab in the bottom. The Black Shield will help to block that if Lizalfos doesn't blow that. Ooh, the big Clarity coming out on the almost full mana Morgana, going to return them just a bit of sustain in the bottom lane. As if you're not using summoner spells, then what good are they for? Oh, the rocket grab not quite hitting the Q from Quinn as well, just landing onto a good group of minions there. Farms going back and forth. We actually have some last hits on both of these players here, and so it looks like this is a game where anything is possible. Go ahead and rearrange these. You can compare and see who's doing hot, who is not. And it looks like Cancel's actually going to pull out a kill down there in the bottom lane. Let's rewind just a bit to see exactly how that transpired. And it looks like Cancel gets a nice blind there onto Becky. Is Tuck on this going to line up the rocket grab? The minions are going close, and there is an excellent grab, pulling him right under turret range. Cancel takes the kill there with the vault, and a well-played second blood in the bottom lane here for the blue team. 1-1. The gold is rather even, just a couple hundred separating the two teams. And we'll see who is the hero of our Wood League. Mr. Blue Winds, after going back, has actually not been able to buy anything. I think he just bought some potions. However, the Alpha Knight did manage to pick up a Ruby Crystal as well as an Amplifying Tome. Jinx, opting to go for a double dagger first build, now goes into fight up against Cancel 246. The blind connects, but it doesn't quite do enough damage to break through that dark shield because it does deal physical damage and only magic damage can take off that black shield. Looking at a couple of the other builds, it actually looks like our jungler... Ooh, the up grab almost almost hitting down there. It didn't almost miss, it did. The builds are actually fairly standard on a few of the lanes here. The top lanes went for double boots, which might not be so typical since boots don't do quite that well level 1. And typically combat stats might help them a little bit more. And speaking of combat, Kayle is having a little bit trouble in her duel with the minions, only managing to take down 4 in the 5 minutes of this game. We'll be out of sustain as well. Warwick looking for a potential assist up there, but he's going to be driven off here by Euro Monster 69. Because it's not a true Wood League name if you don't have 69 at the beginning, end, or somewhere in the middle. Kayle going to look to get that 5th last hit. Oh, let's see it. No, Kayle, go back. They're not dead yet. They're only injured. No, Kayle. She might. Yes, she got one by default. She got one by default. And will appropriately miss every single other one in the entire wave. Okay, that's the kind of game it's going to be, as her opponent Jax is up at 16 last hit. So congratulations to beating his enemy laner there. I'm interested to see this absolute attack speed build from Jinx and how poorly it does, because Jinx doesn't necessarily need early attack speed due to that stacking AS from the minigun. Just giving it more attack speed will give up other things that can really help Jinx early on, like attack damage or lifesteal. And she's really missing out on the high attack damage scaling of her abilities by passing up on any attack damage whatsoever. Meanwhile, Cancel 246 just gone for a longsword here, not chosen to back yet. Is missing a lot of CS, but of course does have that kill under his belt, and that's really all that's going to matter. Ooh, last sitting into the turret proving to be a little bit too much here for our Wood League All-Stars. Kayle has managed to almost double her CS in the top lane. 6 last hits under his belt, an entire wave in the 7 minutes of the game. And almost gets another one in the bottom lane. It looks like Cancel came out once again. Superb. I'd have to imagine there's another rocket grab. I'm not going to bother rewinding to see exactly what transpired there. Is Wukong going in for a gank in the top lane? No, he's going to take that Wicket. As a big stun lands there on the Kayle, she takes a lot of turret aggro. There's the leap strike. There's the... Oh, Ignite goes down. The intervention from Kayle going to keep him alive from now. He actually pressed the proper button there. Ignite ticking down. Not going to be enough to finish him off. The leap stripe is there. And that will be the Crazy Dance taking a kill as Wukong dies to the white. I'm not sure why I expected any differently, as there are now 4 kills on the board, but 5 deaths. You can't explain that, unless you were watching when Wukong died to the white. The Alpha Knight continues to farm up here, has a slight advantage still over Mr. Blue Winds, but he's shoved up into his turret and has rather low health. He has to be a little bit careful here about Blue Winds potentially going in for the kill shot. There's a nice blinding dart, helping to chunk down the Alpha Knight's health, as Mr. Blue Winds has opted for a dagger and boots. Potentially going for those early Berserker's Greaves for the excellent attack damage. I mean, on hit damage. He's probably not going to build too much attack damage this game. Quinn picking up the BF sword. Although he has missed quite a few CS, he has been able to aggregate a lot of gold from the kills onto Becky there. 2 deaths for that Jinx. Not going to be a very good start here. But the BF sword... really going to hope to do a number on their health bars as soon as they can get in there. Blitzcrank not quite finding the opportunity for a grab there, just going to stand there and send a message to the enemy team saying, please don't step past your minions. A big grab landing onto Morgana there. The auto attacks come through, and with the blind, Cancel 246 is able to grab out his 3rd kill here, a killing spree for the Birdo in the bot lane. Mr. Blue is just continuing to pressure on this middle lane as the Alpha Knight finally comes back. Pistro is here for a little bit of defense, and he has a good amount of gold under his belt. 38 last hits, the 2nd most in the game. 3rd, I suppose, at this point, as Jinx does overtake him in the bot. Kayle has managed to achieve a total of 8 farm, has roamed mid for, oh, is that going to be another hit? Oh, the 9th last hit there from Kayle. Roam accomplished. Time to go back to lane. He has his teleport. I'd love to see him teleport top here, if for nothing but lols. Becky last hitting onto the turret is going to keep up a solid CS advantage here over this Quinn, but be drastically behind in terms of kills. They might need to look for a gank from Pistro in with that infinite duress if they want to return anything. Suck on this. Doesn't go for the rocket grab until far too late. That might have been yet another kill, but instead it will allow Becky to get away for free. Lizalfos having a fun time chilling in the base, finally going to come back to lane. Mr. Blue One's actually falling rather low there to his opposing Teemo, who has picked up an early haunting guys for the nice magic penetration. The double dagger as well might go into a stinger, which later could be an Asher's Tooth, which scales rather well with Teemo's toxic shot. Ooh, Pistro grabbed in. No, actually goes in for the infinite duress, but takes so much damage. Becky doesn't opt to help out until it is far too late. Almost is able to grab the kill out on to cancel 246, but the flash away is going to be enough. Becky coming out with the clutch heal afterward. I'd like to see the clarity to give Becky back some mana. Come on. Come on, Lizalfos. You can do this. You're a support. You're a support. Oh! Becky grabbed in by the huge rocket grab, but the power fist not going to connect due to the pro skills MLG 420 black shield from Lizalfos. The Alpha Knight holding his own in the mid lane has to be careful. Might actually look to go on to your monster here. He dashes over the wall. The Cyclone as well knocking up Alpha Knight. Pops that barrier. He tries to turn on the Arrow Monster. The toxic shot damage is ticking down, and Mr. Blue Winds grabs out his first kill of the game here. Piestro wants to turn something around, though. He goes in onto Yarrow Monster. He has that vision. The blinding dart kept him off it for a little bit here. Now, with the mushroom connecting, Pistro looks to continue on here. He has the Q, he has the auto attacks. He's going to come here under the turret and fall there to Mr. Blue Winds with the very nice kiting, taking out Warwick under the turret. Oh, super mega death rocket there, because why not have more kills all the way across the map? That is the first kill here for Jinx, who has opted for, of course, the early Runaan's Hurricane. I would like to explain why that is not a good first buy, but I don't have enough time in the game. Amakuchi throws that intervention to try and survive there against a Crazy Dane, but doesn't quite have enough health after that runs out to turn it around. The Crazy Dane now picking up his second kill. On top of that, Phage is going to go for an early Trinity Force. And hey, look, actually with this Runaan's Hurricane, Becky is right-clicking and autoing the waves down well enough for some last hits. So I guess that's the strategy coming out here. However, if they get into a fight, Runaan's Hurricane will suffer drastically in the face of literally any other option. Ah, suck on this. Missing the rocket grab there. Missing his opportunity to drill down Becky for yet another time. Cancel 246, using that vision to see everything that's already in her vision range. And is able to finally grab a last hit under that turret there. Alpha Knight and Mr. Blue Winds continue to farm up. Ooh, look at that shroom on shroom action. That is beautiful. Spinning together. Spin is spinning. The Alpha Knight and Mr. Blue Winds just auto-attacking away at these waves. And it actually looks like Blue Winds has a 20 advantage here. 2 stingers for both of these. The Haunting guys, though, in favor of Alpha Knight. Ooh, Yarrow Monster wants to go in here for the OP ganks. But the Alpha Knight is a little bit smarter than that, laying down a shroom field all around this mid lane to stay safe. Yarrow Monster now moving in onto the bot lane, and there are no wards here. This is Woodley. There aren't going to be any vision. Oh, the rocket grab misses, but there Yarrow Monster stealths in. A big cyclone there onto Becky and Lizalfos. Let's see if Suckungus can get in there in time, and it looks like Becky will actually be free. Lizalfos throws the Soul Shackles onto Suck on this and immediately backs out. Super Mega Death Rocket, not doing too much there onto Blitzcrank's health, and everyone will back off safely. None the wiser that there was ever a fight. Pistro, however, might want to see what he can. Nope, he's going to stay mid. Nope, he's going to go bot. Nope, he's going to stay. Oh. Pistro. What are you planning? What are you planning? You sneak it? Nope, he's just going back into the jungle, of course. He does have that Wriggle's Lantern, an item whose name I forgot about largely. Lizalfos ignited up is going to be able to run away for free since Yarrow Monster 69 decided that he had enough of action for today. Lizalfos is so low, he goes in the cancel 246, and that should just be an auto attack. There's the vault with the last hit, grabbing up an easy kill as Becky stays back. Comes back in. Why, Becky? Why? Cancel 246 goes into the Valor form, swaps out for the tag team double kill. And mistakes were made. Mr. Blue Winds falling to that gank, and from Warwick, the Infinite Duress proving to be a little bit too strong for that little hamster. And the kills are coming back and forth. 4 in the favor of red team, 10 over there on the blue team side. And oh, so much delicious action. Crazy Dane landing the Counter-Strike stun onto Kale. Goes in for a massive amount of damage on the Amakuchi. Throws the intervention, but isn't going to be able to survive for too much longer. The Sheen proc coming out alongside that Empower. It's enough to finish him off for good. Alpha Knight with his Fields of Shrooms is continuing to farm up here to victory. The Gnasher's Tooth already finished on his opposing team. Oh, he only has a Stinger to his name. Now, Cancel 246 actually going for a proper AD carry build with the Bloodthirster first. Benefits highly from not only Quinn's high attack damage ratios, but the natural attack speed coming out from that W. Oh, Pistro comes in here for the potential gank, but they're taking up so much minion damage. Becky runs in here and really grabs up a lot. Ooh, the nice farming coming out there from that Runaan Hurricane, proving to be the only thing that item is good for. Hero Monster comes around from the side, steps onto a Shroom. Alpha Knight and Mr. Blue Winds engaged in hot battle. The Alpha Knight pops the barrier to block up no damage. Mr. Blue Winds almost falls here from the minions, but will actually no! Hero Monster steps on a trap to take out his ally. Oh, we thought we had turned off friendly fire, but that proved not to be the case as Wukong comes in for the gank on his own teammate. Becky did fall on the bottom, showing that Runaan's Hurricane is not a get-out-of-jail-free card, and Lizalfos is left down here to stand there. That's what Lizalfos is up to. Oh, Super Mega Death Rocket going to connect onto Wukong, but not do too much more than that. Euromonster is spotted out by Warwick here. He has to be careful that he doesn't run through a Shroom. Pistro comes in with the Infinite Duress. Euromonster 69 falls low. He goes into that clone form, and Pistro gets a little bit juked out by that. Euromonster flashes away, and he will be safe from Pistro for today. 4,000 gold here in the advantage of the blue team, despite Pistro's best efforts. The Virgo's Lantern netting him a decent amount of cash now. Actually, only 88, so he hasn't killed quite as many monsters as he would hope. Jax gets another kill in the top lane, but we like to talk about new and interesting and unique things when we're casting. Pistro roams top here. He might actually look for the gank up there top. Stuck on this, grabs yet another kill under the turret. Lizalfos not being able to use that clarity to escape. Becky has to be careful here. Maybe the Runaan's Hurricane will be enough to escape. Oh, it looks like Becky might be safe. He plays this a little bit too smartly. Look at that ward, that expertly placed ward there in the bush. Going to be a little bit too much for Suck on this and Cancel 246 to comprehend. Pistro is busy farming up here in the top lane. Crazy Dane 3 going to actually go in for the aggression. There's a counter strike, but it's not going to get in there in time. Now the teleport comes up from Kale. Let's see if he can turn this around for the first time. Amakuchi throws down the Reckoning, decides to attack some minions, and stops in his tracks. Pistro running in here, throws down the Infinite Duress, and are they going to finally get the Crazy Dane here? Pistro just needs one more auto attack. He flashes away, but Pistro has so much movement speed. Counter strike comes around, stuns up Pistro. The Crazy Dane continues to try and get away from your Pistro. You just need one more Q, and there it is. The shutdown for the Warwick. The assist going over to Amakuchi will be the most gold that he's received all game. Becky falling down in the bottom. Cancel 246 going back to the base in a body bag. Lizalfos going to left to hold his own once again. Has actually done a pretty good job of defending up that turret. Since the teams haven't been looking too much for the objective, the kills have been just a little bit too juicy so far, even though we haven't had too much more than 1 a minute. Oh, Monster defending up this turret by himself. Should be able to hold his own against Pistro here, especially since Amakuchi is almost more a liability than an asset. Oh, the Cyclone comes out. Monster 69 grabs a knock up on the Amakuchi. Actually does a solid amount of damage, but he has the intervention in case things get a little bit too salty there. Now Pistro moving in onto Monster. The intervention on the Pistro will defend a bit of damage, but I think Amakuchi is the one who needs to be a little worried. Monster falls low. There's the Infinite Duress coming out from Pistro, and that will be the kill up in the top lane. The 2v1 not quite working out. The Crazy Dane might look to make it up for his teammate. Nope, he decides to just counter-strike nothing. Might have been safe. Nope, he's going to go back in after his counter-strike is down and then run right back out. Man, this weaving in and out A little bit too much for me. Alpha Knight has his barrier, might look for yet another bait, pops the barrier, but will the auto attacks be too much? And it looks to be so. Mr. Blue Winds coming out ahead down there with his Gnasher's Tooth, proving to be potentially the stronger teamo. Pistro now laning top with Amakuchi. Will at least make some use out of the minions in this lane. They haven't had too much luck getting on that turret, but the Crazy Dane is pretty low on health here. He might be in a rough spot if they do decide to go in for the dive, especially with the Infinite Dress coming up soon, but instead they'll back up. Oh, Crazy Dane throws down the counter strike and takes a good amount of damage from the Hungering Strike. Now Pistro with the massive movement speed might look to go in. Leap Strike comes out from Crazy Dane and nothing comes back on to punish him in the bottom lane. They do lose Lizalfos, who didn't use that clarity once again. Come on, Lizalfos. I'm just kidding, that wouldn't have saved him there. Becky comes across with the Super Mega Death Rocket. Tickling suck on this and cancel 246, but I think they'll stay in lane. They will be able to put up with the Convulsions and the Laughter 4. Now Becky not quite grabbed up there. Cancel 246 actually taking a good amount of damage. If the Super Mega Death Rocket was up, that might be the kill on the Quinn, but instead it looks like he will be safe today. Directed camera deciding to give me a nice view of the base onto Lizalfos as he does respawn there for the 5th time this game. The 1 in 10 bot lane are actually holding their turret surprisingly well. Becky also going for some lifesteal here, might choose that Bloodthirster next, which would be my choice after an unfortunate start with the Runaan's Hurricane. Meanwhile, Quinn has gone for a very aggressive build with the 9 kills under... Oh, Infinite Duress landing up in the top lane onto the Crazy Dane. He throws the counter-strike. Let's see if Alpha Knight can catch up onto him. Yellow Monster going to land a nice Cyclone. Alpha Knight flashing right into that Cyclone, and it actually will be Yellow Monster saving his teammate. He might try and turn this around. He jumps in with the Nimbus Strike. The Blinding Dart is there. The intervention as well to keep Alpha Knight alive for now. And no kills in the top lane quite yet. Meanwhile, in the mid, Mr. Blue Winds was able to take out the second turret of the game, both here in the favor of the blue team, which results in their 6,000 advantage. I would also like to note that no one has gone for a dragon attempt yet, 22 minutes into the game. I'm surprised to see that everyone actually has a trinket, and I would be interested to see if they all got them at level 1 or if they maybe picked them up a little bit later. Surprisingly enough, Cancel continues on his rampage. A legendary Quinn up there. Might be sleeper OP. Amakuchi has to be so careful about that health. He throws on the Divine Blessing and might be able to get away from this one. Crazy Dane wants to chase on after it, but he is going to be spotted out there by Pistro. Yarrow Monster so low as well. Might be the Q that Pistro needs to go in. He has Infinite Duress. That should be a guaranteed kill into one of them. Mr. Blue Winds, though. Will he be enough to dissuade this? Crazy Dane throws the counter strike. He has to be so careful of Bistro, but nah, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, there it is. Infinite Duress there on to Yarrow Monster 69. Is he going to be able to get away from this one? Pistro is blinded here by Mr. Blue Winds and will be shut down by the Crazy Dane. Alpha Knight comes in for the assist from the side. A nice snipe going to result in a kill here for that hamster. Quinn and Blitzcrank continue to lie in wait. Becky almost falling there. But the blind not going to be enough to shut him down. The recall from Becky might result in a lot of damage up here onto the turret. Alpha Knight grabbing up a kill onto the enemy teamo. Maybe Blue Winds isn't in quite as good a spot as he thought he might have been. That looks like it's going to be the Lichbane coming out from this blue team teamo. Meanwhile, the Leandri's Torment appears to be building up there on the Alpha Knight. So it's 23 minutes into the game. Amakuchi has only purchased Boots of Speed and a Doran's Ring. So at level 1, he purchased boots and potions. At minute 1. At minute 1. In the next 23 minutes of the game, Amakuchi has only purchased a Doran's Ring. He has 3,350 gold there. Amakuchi with a good chunk of change under his belt might be able to actually do something if he spends it. Who knows? We'll see exactly what happens there. Black Cleaver finished up on a Wukong here, not purchasing the boots yet, but will have a good amount of damage with that Cyclone. From what we've seen, he can definitely do a lot in fights if he has a team to back him up. in the top lane. It looks like they did have yet another kill on the Jax. The rocket grab going to stop Pistro's infinite duress, but he's not taking too much damage here. Cancel 246, swaps out to Valor to try and escape, but Pistro has so much movement speed. Cancel 246 swaps back, throws down the blind and the ignite, and it looks like Pistro will actually be taken out there. Cancel 246 coming out huge with his 11th kill of the game, and 10 times as many CS suck on this, falls solo. He's going to grab in Lizalfos, which will prove not too useful. Becky grabbing up his second kill of the game, doubling his score on the board. And continuing to peg away with that Runaan's Hurricane. Mr. Balloon's doing a good job of pushing here on the mid lane. Has to be careful about Becky roaming up, but of course it is a Runaan's Hurricane Jinx, so he doesn't have to be too careful. Becky run right face first into a shroom. Actually takes almost half of his health. Alpha Knight as well should deal quite a bit of damage with those shrooms now that there's the percent health burn. Warwick opting to go for a Jinsu's Rageblade on top of the Wriggle's Lantern, and it looks like it might be a Guardian Angel after that one. Jinsu's Rageblade does give you a good amount of attack damage and ability power. Then, on auto attacks and abilities, Lizalfos going to fall there. Not too surprising, the 0-7 and 1 Morgana has a hard time surviving against the Onslaught. Hasn't bought too much recently either, but still only has about 900 gold. Mr. Balloons did fall. Euro Monster 69 falls solo, but they aren't able to stick on there. Oh no, he ran into a trap. Of course, the shrooms are always there. Becky falls solo, and that is Cancel 246 actually grabbing out the kill there. Now Pistro jumps into 3, but will be taken out there. And it looks like the Crazy Dane grabs the kill. Mr. Balloons now coming right back up here to keep on pushing that lane. 39 kills in the 26-minute game. Actually, lower kills than what we've seen at Challenger level before on this stream. To be completely fair, Amakuchi finally purchasing an item has that Hextech Gunblade there. And we'll see how well he can do with it. Oh, the bind catches out Crazy Dane, but there's not enough damage. Lizalfos has to be careful. He throws on the Soul Shackles to cancel 246. He swaps out, does get stunned up there, and it looks like Lizalfos will be able to escape with his life. That Valor form not going to do too well. The binding catches once again, but no one wants to go in onto that Quinn. He is rather scary here with a Bloodthirster and an Infinity Edge. 12, 0, and 4 with almost the most CS in the game. The entirety of the red team is grouped around this turret to try to make their last stand. And we'll see how well our Blue League All-Stars, Blue Team, Wood League words. I'm almost as bad at saying the name of this series as some of these champions are at itemizing. I'm interested to see how much gold. 2,400. Okay, here under Becky's belt, not choosing to spend that on anything like a BF sword or a Bloodthirster at this point. Just going to sit on it in the bank because gold in the bank is pretty much as good as gold spent, right? The answer is wrong. The answer is wrong, but I thought I would give you guys a chance to answer. The teleport comes in into 5, and he does cancel it out. I think that was a pretty smart choice to not come in there. Mr. Blue wins. Staying out of the 1 versus 5 for now. Is this going to be the first Dragon of the game going down? Blue team, Euro Monster snags that away. Congratulations for a good pickup there. Three members working to take down that golem, and they finally manage to bring it down. Becky swapping into that rocket form for actually a lower damage output than she was in before. Minigun is always going to be more damage on a single target. Maybe unless you're going for next people like this, I'm actually not too sure. Oh, Pistro tries to go in there on the Euro Monster 69, but can't quite. Alpha Knight falls while trying to run in, not able to get any damage there onto the entirety of the blue team. And now with 5 members alive, they might look to push on into the inhibitor turret. Jax is doing work up in the top. Cancel 246, grabs the vault, but isn't quite able to follow up. Becky, will he be able to continue onwards? I'm not too sure. The health bars are low here. The shrooms are doing well enough to poke that down. Rocket Grab comes out and glitches out a little bit on that black shield, but won't be able to pull Becky into her death. Crazy Dane doing his best to push up top. Did manage to take out that inner turret. Will be under onslaught here from Becky. Walks onto a shroom, but it's gonna look to turn around for some massive damage on the Becky. Backs out now and looks to get out here freely. Binding not catching on there from Morgana. Mr. Bluin's doing work here onto the minions. Pushing up, looking to take the 6th turret of the game, but Pistro has something to say about that. Mr. Bluins is solo. Pistro pops. No, does not pop the ghost quite yet. Instead, just opts to run after Mr. Bluins. He finally has that speed from the hunger, and Mr. Bluins won't be long for this world as Pistro manages to grab him up. Amakuchi now going in on to suck on this. Did actually use the active on his item. Oh, Super Mega Death Rocket not connecting onto anyone there. Pistro coming up from behind could potentially catch them out with their pants around their ankles. Suck on this, looking to escape, but Pistro choosing not to come in from the back. Loops around to come in from the side, running at their faces, but not quite connecting there. Jax has picked up the Alacrity buff on top of his Trinity Force Hextech Gunblade combo. Going for actually what's a pretty standard Jax build. The Alacrity, although it doesn't necessarily help you stick on a target, it helps you get in range for the Leap Strike. Pistro grabbed under the turret. Is going to fall low here, but they don't quite have the damage to finish it off. There's the Ghost coming out from that Warwick, and he will be able to run out of here for free. Besides trading a nice little cooldown. The Alpha Knight going to dodge out of the grab from Suck on this. Is he in trouble though? Cancel. 246 comes in for the slow from the vault and is able to grab up a kill. His 14th of the game. And you know what's better than a game with 1 Runaan Hurricane is 2. As Cancel 246 does look to build that item. Crazy one on a rampage. Crazy Dane in the bottom, but this might be a little bit more than what he bargained for. Infinite Rest comes across onto him. There is the Righteous Fury as well, and it's actually the Fishbones coming out from Becky that does grab up that last hit there. Now Cancel 246 might be running into his death as well. Super Mega Death comes across, but there's Euro Monster 69 from behind with the Cyclone. Becky doing his best to take out Cancel 246, but Mr. Bluins is there for the assistance. And that'll be Quinn with the 15th kill, not falling there, even though he ran into the 1 versus 3. Not enough focus from our red team will allow this Wood League All-Star to survive for now. Hurricane, now all finished up on that Quinn, will actually be an almost entirely useless item when he's in his bird form, besides giving him a gross amount of attack speed. And if anyone's curious why I am slightly critical of the Runaan Hurricane, it's because when you're in lane, sure, it helps you farm, but you shouldn't really need help farming. You really should be able to just last hit, auto attack, use spells, that kind of thing to clear out waves. You shouldn't necessarily need to spend so much money in clearing out waves. And in a team fight, the Runaan Hurricane almost always does less damage because it's very unlikely that you're going to be getting those 3 hits onto everyone at once. Going for something like crit or high attack damage would be slightly better. Lizalfos pulled over the wall would be taken out quickly before getting to use that Soul Shackles. Clarity as well. Wait, is that Clairvoyance? Nope, it's Clarity. It's Clarity. Hasn't been used since we've seen for about 30 minutes here. Oh, Suck on this, looking for yet another grab over the wall. And our blue team will be pushing up here onto this turret. Mr. Bluin's doing his best auto attack up. There's Cancel 246. Ooh, Super Mega Death Rocket says, I see you. Suck on this. Ooh, rocket grab. Lands onto the ward there, but doesn't pull it in because reasons. Let's see if our red team can make this defense work. Pistro waiting there on the other side of the wall. The Shroom lands onto Euro Monster. He's going to run through another one. The rocket grab there lands onto Pistro, and look at the massive damage. The Crushing Strike able to take it out. Intervention down onto Amakuchi, but he's popped up twice. A little bit too much for him to escape. Cancel 246. Now runs in onto Becky. Is able to grab that on the marked target. A good amount of attack damage. Alpha Knight comes in from behind, and with the damage over time, will grab out Yellow Monster. Yarrow words. Crazy Dane destroying the turret will take out the 7th for the blue team as he moves in onto this inhibitor completely uninhibited. Ha 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 ha. Crazy Dane grabbing that out will really assure a solid advantage for his team, and that really does well to speak for the potential victory here of the blue team. To use too many words to describe a simple concept, it looks like the blue team is ahead. The dragon is up. We'll see if anyone attempts it. Baron has been up as well, but I don't think anyone has so much as sniffed in its vicinity so far. The dragon took 2. Oh! And the surrender vote comes out here from the red team. I suppose they determined that the 0-10 Morgana wasn't going to be able to land many team-wide ultimates to turn a fight, and instead they choose to take the honorable defeat there at 34 minutes, 33 seconds. Congratulations to our blue team and Mr. Blue Wins in particular for allowing us to spectate you here in the Wood League All-Stars. And I would like... see, I have a choice here to make. I can either choose Cancel 246 as our Wood League All-Star of the match for his 1805 performance, going for no boots, instead opting for a full blade and bow build. However, I really feel like Amakuchi might deserve a special commendation for going the entire game and only buying items 3 times. He only bought items 3 times in a 34-minute game, which shows a lot more constraint than I typically see on you know, our Wood League participants. And so, congratulations, MVP of the game to Cancel 246, honorable mention to Amakuchi, and a fun game for everyone. Remember to tune into my stream. I stream every single night, and I will, I believe, do a few more of these since they're a bit fun from the regular of casting Challenger and Diamond 1 level games. And you all have a beautiful wood-free day.